Hey everyone, welcome to How Do I Know You with your host Mark and Dwayne.
What up?
And today, let's see what comes out of our mouths.
Yep. Then you start puking.
Oh
my god.
that still looks good. I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna eat it again.
Finish it.
Oh, a Happy Meal toy, tight.
Well, yo, they still give Happy Meal toys?
Yeah, they do. Got one for my little nephew the other day, and they got the toys.
I was about to say if that was for you, I was like, you're
Whatever. I mean, he didn't notice when I took it back. So
I'm gonna need that.
yeah, it's my toy. Actually, I got a collection going.
You guys don't know where we record, but Mark has like a tub full of Happy Meal toys. It's very interesting.
I got an excuse for that. I love Happy Meals. Nah. My dad used to work at a warehouse where they actually pack the toys into the fast food places, so he would just bring home a shitload of toys. So
freaking, I remember the first time that I came to Mark's house. Your dad had drove us obviously to your house, but we stopped at the McDonald's by your house, and your dad bought us all Happy Meals.
Yep, that's my dad's move.
he's like, yeah, little black boy, you take that Happy Meal.
It's chicken. You see it?
I know. I remember he got us all Happy Meals, and they were cheeseburgers. And then I was like, "Oh, I don't like cheese." And I remember your dad being like, you told him, and your dad was just like, "You don't like cheese."
I can excuse the black thing, but cheese.
But cheese? Oh, give me that toy.
You
son,
don't
you have two.
He just snaps it in half.
You have two toys, son.
Thanks, Dad. But yeah, what do you have on the docket today?
I have something that we've been doing a lot of talking about when it comes to Black Lives Matter or just anything that's dealing with the uplifting of Black people, trying to bring equality to it. We've been saying that you don't want to mix up the energy. You don't want to mix up the basically you don't want to confuse the fight. And a lot of things that are going on still is people confusing the fight. And the biggest thing when it comes to things like this is it's clear when people are being divisive to try to either co-opt something or they're trying to, change the perspective or narrative or something. And as soon as it gets changed, we forget why we're even fighting, because now people are fighting internally about stuff that isn't even important. With that being said, something that happened this week that I don't know why people care. I don't know why this is getting so much attention, and I'm going to try to navigate this the best way I can, because for some reason it's a touchy subject, but I said toppy subject.
It's a toppy subject. It could be a toppy subject in private behind doors,
you can
closed
get some
doors.
toppy
But
from the subject.
Who's getting top? We don't know. We can only speculate.
But it's a touchy subject apparently. But a while back there is a rapper, a female or woman MC from Chicago. Her name is NoName, and she is a rapper, but she's more of a activist. She has been speaking out, obviously, about social injustice and things like that in the Black community for a very long time. And I would say a couple months, or like right around when this started, I shouldn't say a couple months ago, so a couple weeks ago, she had tweeted out pretty much a tweet that said, a lot of your favorite rappers have whole discographies about, the Black plight and everything, and where are they now? They're silent and everything like that, right? So she threw the tweet out and got a lot of attention, and apparently JCole saw the tweet and felt like she was talking about him, right?
That's weird because he was at the protest, right? There was videos of him like marching,
right? But he felt like she was talking about him, so he chose to release a song, and at least social media wise, J. Cole has been silent, but like Mark said, he's been seen at protests. There's been videos of him seen at protests and everything, but he hasn't made a public statement or anything like that yet, right? So J. Cole finally this week decided to release a song, and in the song he pretty much outlined how NoName, he felt like her being a lot smarter than him. He pretty much went down the things about people having their feelings towards him. And he's like, I get that people think, because I went to college and I have a degree, I'm super educated. However, I have an average IQ. I'm just like you, so I don't know everything. And in the song, I can tell from an artistic standpoint, he was pretty much trying to say, like, hey, no name, I understand what you're saying, but I'm not as smart as you, so I would love for you to help me understand everything that's going on and understand all these nuanced things. But
that's what you got from it.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. However, this is where we're gonna get to because I'm a male, so this is where we're gonna get to with this, right? So, the one thing that he said in the song that sent people ablaze is during one of the bars, he was saying, he pretty much kind of said that he wished No Name would came at him in a different tone about the things about certain rappers and about not being as vocal. So in the Twitter streets and socially, this went ablaze, right? So it got posed in a different light of people saying that, of course, J. Cole's been silent through all this, and his first song coming out, he's going at a black woman about how she's speaking to him and everything, and then it just went super left from there, and people got on J. Cole and said, oh, this is patriarchy, this is misogynistic and things like that. And a lot of people were left confused because they were like, well, he bigged her up in the song, but he was saying, I need help. Can you help me? But they were highlighting the part where he said he wished she would have watched her tone, or he wished she would have came at him in a different tone.
Right. So you're not allowed to criticize anything at all.
So later in the week, as this plane goes by, it's probably J. Cole.
He's found us.
He's like, I got something to say.
Teach me.
But later in the week, No Name decided to release a song, a response to J. Cole, where she pretty much says what the internet was saying, like, this dude was silent all this time, and he comes back and he's trying to go at me. And that's the way that she, again, go to the song. That's the way she posed it.
These are the lyrics.
I'm not going to say like, oh, I felt like, no. She said what she said. So, she decided to go out and pretty much say like, she brought up things like patriarchy. She brought up things how like the male ego and, he uses his platform to go at me and try to tear down a black woman and things like that, and how niggas is sad and all this stuff, right? And the internet, obviously cheered No Name. But then, of course, another side of the internet was like, wait a minute. Isn't this the same thing that she's saying that he did? Isn't she doing the same thing by responding? Like, because she was saying, like, you're using your platform to go at me instead of talking about the issues. And they were saying, well, she responded and then didn't talk about the issues and decided to go at him.
Right.
Right?
So it's the classic argument about being the bigger person.
Right. So now we're in a weird space because I looked at this whole thing and I was like, who gives a shit?
For real?
Right? Who cares, right? But of course, it's brought up a lot of things, and I really want to get to the bottom of this. In times like this, why is it so necessary to be right? Why is it so necessary to be the voice of whatever? Why do you think?
Beyond the movement actually achieving what it's set out to do,
right?
I think everyone always has their own agendas, and everyone wants to be that person. Like, oh, that's that person that was the face of the movement, and because of their song, it kept going, or because of their speech, it was like this and that. And they want the credit. They might not say it like outright or even know it themselves, but subconsciously they want the credit, being the right person. So I think that's part of it. I don't know. Like, you gotta take down the other ones. It's like being the Pope, right? Pope is supposed to be like this sacred title, this mantle. You're supposed to be the best person, but really it's a political game, and you have to like talk shit about other people so that you could end up on top.
Right.
Even though it's supposed to be this good movement kind of thing. So I think it's the same thing. But with the whole thing you're talking about, because I read into it a little bit, and I didn't really get it, so I stopped reading into it. But again, it's what you said. Who cares? There's people being lynched out here. Who gives a shit about two rappers fighting right now? I felt like maybe it's one of those things that people were just ready and welcoming to any kind of distraction. So they tried to flame it up, take it as far as it could, and from what I could tell, it's pretty much died by now.
As of today, and today is we're doing this on Father's Day for people. Happy Father's Day out there.
Hey.
To all the fathers. But we're doing this on this day. As of right now, yeah, it seems calm.
Right, which is that I see as a win for the movement, because something like this back in the day would have kept going forever and feud, fight, you know, like they would have did a couple more songs at each other,
yeah,
possibly made up, did a joint song together, all that crap. But I'm glad that it just fucking died down right away. They said what they said, and I don't even know if they were mad at each other. It was mainly just people on the internet saying, oh, that's what he meant, and of course you say enough of that shit, it's gonna get to your ear. And I'm glad it just died down. I'm glad it's not going any further, because you don't need that shit. It's distraction. It's putting a black man versus a black woman, and nobody needs that right now at all. Because again, we've said this fucking how many times on the past couple of weeks? Stop fighting amongst each other. Stay fucking united. Fight the enemy. And then after we win, then you can bicker amongst each other. It's not that big of a deal.
Then we can get to the in-house things that need to be cleaned up. But
why do you think people need to be right?
Man, I feel like we live in a society today where everything, even like the smartest people, right? I feel like it used to be if you were smart, your job was to teach, right? And you were supposed to help people. Right. But now I feel like it's changed to if you're smart or if you're perceived as smart, you have to prove why you're smart, and it's always like riddled in freaking, I just had the word and I lost it.
Mystery?
No. Riddled in mystery. Oh my god. Darn. It's basically riddled in you condescending. There you go.
Oh, okay.
It's riddled in you having to be condescending to people. And we see it every day on the internet. We see it every day in the YouTube comments or whatever, right? We'll pose, when we do the show, we'll give our ideas and our thoughts out and everything like that. And I feel like we, besides like obvious people that we go out and like we choose to attack because they did something wrong, we don't really attack anybody. We just give, this is the perspective or whatever. What do you guys think, right? So happens every time we post something, someone will respond and they will try to come off as I'm holier than thou, and it's very condescending because it's never like, I don't think we've ever gotten a question of why do you feel the way you feel about this, that, and third. Yeah. I feel like it's always riddled in like, how can you say that blah, 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 blah,
basically, blah. Without saying, it's like, you're stupid for having this opinion.
Right.
Without saying that.
And then it's funny because once we explain, it happens every time. Once we explain our position on this, always the tone lowers.
Or always. They just stop responding.
Or they stop responding. And I'm like, why couldn't you come into it differently? And this goes for men and women. This has nothing to do with gender, right? I'm like, why couldn't you come at it with being like, why do you think like this, right?
I mean, classic example, if you want, just the newest example I have. Last week, I posed a question to my fellow Mexicans, right? One of the first comments I got was, you should say Hispanics and not Mexicans because blah, blah, blah. It's all Hispanics that act this way. And I responded, basically in my head, I'm like, that's really dumb because in the question, I said to my fellow Mexicans, I'm not talking to everyone else. I'm talking to just the people I'm able to talk about. I don't know what Puerto Ricans do. I don't know what Dominicans do. I don't know what everyone else does. But I know what Mexicans do. So I'm talking directly to them. She didn't respond after that.
But do you know all Mexicans?
Yeah, yeah, I know all of them personally. It's not racist to say. And then someone else came at me with just like, I'm Bolivian, and I don't think Hispanics dislike black people, which I never said that in the question, dislike. I just said Mexicans think they're better. Like, why do they think they're better? And then she goes on to try to prove that it's fine by saying this statement, oh, I just think Hispanics are just scared of the violence in black neighborhoods. Which already right there, like, red flags, like, this is wrong because there's violence in every neighborhood.
Yeah.
Like, tell me a neighborhood without violence. And then I try to pose it to her, be like, all right, just replace that word black with the word Bolivian. How do you feel about it now? And she just started focusing on other stuff about the words I was using, like, I never said hate, I never said this, and blah, blah, blah. Still never addressing the fact that I was just like, so if people started saying and it became the norm, Bolivian neighborhoods are violent, cool to feel this way, like it's fine to say that statement, are you fine with that? Still never really wanted to answer that. She just kept, which was for the funny thing, she ended with, you just hear what you want to hear. And I was like, yeah, same to you, man, I guess, and we're not gonna get nowhere. But yeah, just that little shit like that, I can't stand it, man. Just stop answering what you want to answer and actually answer what the question was.
And that is the number one issue when it comes to stuff like this, and that's why I will stand 10 toes deep in what I've been saying. Everyone feels like, we're on the verge of a revolution, and I feel the same way. However, it's going to take longer with situations like this because we're in a generation now that I feel like generations past, there was more of a sense of unity, right? Because it didn't matter who exactly was giving the message if the message made sense. I talked about a couple episodes ago how, there was people that rode for Martin, there was people that rode for Malcolm. However, they were two black men trying to get equality for black people. So it's like whatever side of the fence you were on, Malcolm or Martin, you still knew that at the end of the day, they're both trying to get to the same point. You didn't have to agree with both of them.
Yeah.
You could choose whoever you wanted to agree with. However, you weren't going to be like, Malcolm's going to talk to the president about civil rights? Nah, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
I don't want that. Like, you weren't going to do that. You're going to be like, all right.
And for, correct us if we're wrong, and cite your fucking evidence, they never got in each other's way, right, at all?
Malcolm said some things publicly about Martin.
But if shit was happening, like demonstrations and whatever, and speeches, they weren't gonna sabotage.
No, that I know of, no. I just know that there was some things said publicly, but again, same thing like we're saying now. You're not gonna always agree.
Yeah. Right.
However, I feel like there was a better way to nip these things in the butt, because it was way better to be like, okay, we agree to disagree. Cool. We still fighting for the same shit. And just go on with with the movement, right? But today it's changed to if we are on the same team, but I just feel like we should go this way and you feel like you should go that way. Now it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna take everyone to go this way. I'm gonna go this way. It's like everyone just splits, and I'm like, well, this is what happens because this is how you get what the situations are today, where it's like, why in the black community are we talking about two black people and their I don't even think they were diss records and their records to each other, responding to things that aren't that important right now.
Yeah.
And please understand what I'm saying. Aren't that important right now. Not saying it's not important. However, like Mark's already said, when you have people getting lynched, I don't think us trying to figure out why do black men treat black women this way, or why are black women so mean to black men and all. I don't think that's kind of the biggest thing we need right now.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know. And I feel
And
like...
we're not, like, I don't want to say don't stop posting those videos, because I saw that one video of that guy, like, just, how dare you?
Someone's at my door.
How dare you? Someone hit a black woman with a skateboard.
She deserved it.
She did? I don't know what happened, but yeah, it was like they posted that video, they found that guy, they knew where he lived on shit. I'm sure something happened to him, especially like offline or whatever.
Right.
Like, keep doing that shit.
But this
Hold
was
people
obviously
accountable.
this was a white man.
No, it was a black guy, I think.
A black guy hit a what?
I think so.
And he made it through the...
I mean they found him, I think that's what it was, the post. I could be wrong. The guy was wearing like a hoodie and covered up, so I didn't really see who was, but the post made it seem that way.
Wait. Break down this video. Why? Like, what was going on?
So apparently she just rejected him, like said no to, I guess, his advances. And she was just standing there and like facing this way, facing forward. He came from behind and just smacked her in the head with the skateboard.
Oh, well, shout out to you, because you pussy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and that's probably why you don't get no pussy, because you do shit like that, so...
Can't handle rejection. Fucking losers. Losers that can't handle rejection are fucking just the worst to me.
She said no. Oh, my God.
My life's over.
Oh, my God.
Can't find a shitload of people on Tinder or Bumble or all these apps and all that shit. And just...
Fucking...
So, yeah, like...
Start calling niggas dweebs again. Fucking dweeb.
So keep posting videos like that, hold people accountable.
Right.
But still move forward the movement as one. Don't all of a sudden be like, oh, all men are enemies, all women are overreacting, all that shit, you know, stuff like that. Don't do that. Like, make it a very individual thing of that person fucked up, find them, deal with them, and then together let's keep moving with the movement.
And here's my thing, and this is why I'm like, both y'all niggas, I don't care about this, because JCole decided to make a song, and then he outlines why he feels like this young lady, NoName, is so smart. However, he wishes she would have came at him differently. Nigga, call her.
Yeah, that's the thing. If he didn't include that word tone in his song, then it would have been like, yeah, we should just teach each other. That would have been the message, right?
Right.
And then, so he did include the word tone, so he fucked up already there. Why didn't he do the thing that he did with Lil Pump? It's like you extended a courtesy to Lil Pump after he made a song called "Fuck J. Cole" to have an interview with him and sit down and really talk to him and get to know what's the deal.
But here's the thing. This goes to my point, and this goes to... I think I've been on record saying I don't believe in none of these niggas. I don't believe in none of these niggas. Like, the only people I believe in, I guess, in the celebrity realm or just like rappers or whatever, are the people you guys probably hate the most. And it's because they're very honest with the shit that they're gonna do. Like, I think 50 Cent is amazing. You wanna know why I think he's amazing? Because that nigga don't lie. Like, he's just gonna say what he wants to say. He's gonna do what he wants to do, and that's it. I don't care about his views on anything. You wanna know why? Because I don't live with 50 Cent. He doesn't pay my bills. He does not run my life. However, I can appreciate someone being like, oh shit, fuck Oprah, and not care. Like, I'm like, oh, cool. Like,
it doesn't destroy your world if someone says fuck Oprah.
Yeah, it doesn't, right? Or whatever. But I'm like, I can appreciate him. Some people might not. That's cool. But I'm saying me, right? Now, my issue is you just outlined the whole J. Cole and Lil Pump thing.
Yeah.
These celebrities, these rappers, whoever, right? They have a knack for trying to seem like they're trying to help and everything like that. And I'm not saying J. Cole doesn't help. I'm not saying this at all. But my thing is, why does everything have to be recorded? Why does everything have to be put in a song? Why does everything have to be promoted and like put out there and everything? You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, they're still all brands. They're a brand, right? We don't know what was generated from that video with J. Cole and Lil Pump. But I guarantee you a lot of people saw that video. You don't know what deals were behind that. You don't know what money went to that because it's YouTube and all this other stuff and everything like.
And I never listened to Lil Pump. Like, I listened to his hit song once and I was like, oh, that's it.
Right.
And then I only saw him again until the interview to see what the fuck's really up.
Right. There's all these dollars and like there's money being changing hands all the time behind all these artists, right? So when on the surface we see things like, oh, that's dope. J. Cole,
that's real.
Yeah, J. Cole's being a big bro and being like, man, why do you got to do this and that and the third? Cool, he probably is. But also, fam, Like, to get these two people in the same room, willing to talk and everything, there's money behind that. There's a reason for that. Maybe not even like the act of giving money, but Lil Pump knows if I'm on his platform, people are gonna know who I am. More money. J. Cole is like, if I have him on my platform, it's gonna be able to uplift people and see that we can have a disagreement, but we can get to a better place. But also, J. Cole's in the spotlight,
and you get his fan base.
Like, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with this, and this goes back to my simple question. This is for everyone involved in this and anything else. If you can do all these things, you can have your tour, or you can have a show and promote it as, it's a dollar show and you're J. Cole. You can buy your old house in North Carolina and then make it a home that shelters like battered women and things, or homeless women and things like that. That's dope. That's cool. You can't find this girl's number and call her and have this conversation offline. The same thing with her. I'm like, you got an issue with what he just said. You can't call him. Like, even before, even the first tweet, right? That started this whole thing, which was her saying that your favorite rappers do all this and that, whatever, right? Maybe she wasn't talking about anybody. But we all know in today's era, right, there's a thing called subtweeting and whatever. J. Cole felt like she was talking about him. Cool, right? At that point, he could have called her. At that point, she could have been like, I'm going to reach out to him and try to see if I can talk to him.
Yeah.
Right? Very simple. But these people choose to do these things and they mask it behind like, oh, I'm being real. Or, oh, I'll see, I'm sticking up for my people. I'm sticking up for women. I'm sticking up for men and all this shit. Get the fuck out of here. Like, that's my issue with this shit, because we just wasted a whole week talking about some dumb shit. Mind you, like, all this stuff was going on, people getting lynched, all these videos are posted, freaking Breonna Taylor's murderer still have not been arrested. Like, they actually just got fired this week. And that got quickly forgotten about because of this dumbass, like, incident. Like, there's so much stupidity in these moments. And I'm like, fam, y'all just act like y'all can't pick up a phone. When all y'all do is on your phone. Like, I'm sorry, I had to get that out.
All right. So, let's say J. Cole released the song already, right? So it's too late to
take it back or anything.
To take it back to make that call before all this shit happens, right? At that point, the internet takes it over, it gets flamed up, blah blah blah. Right then and there, they could have had that talk, even on camera, to make it like the Lil Pump thing. Didn't happen. All right, NoName comes out with her song. This is him a little more. All that shit's happening. Kind of died down. There's still time to have that talk between them on camera, to make it a thing, and for them to really figure each other out. Even if it's for show, it'll still be more meaningful and impactful to bring unity to these people. So now that, like, the people that are fighting, let's talk instead of just fighting and shouting at each other because we think someone meant this when they really meant this and blah blah blah. Oh no, let's make it normal to talk and figure shit out. Figure out misunderstandings instead of just getting crazy and saying, fuck this person, that's it, I'm done with them, and all that shit. So, if this gets to their ears, whatever, fucking J. Cole, NoName, do a little YouTube interview. You know, do that thing that Lil Pump and J. Cole did. Really talk it out and figure out what you guys were trying to say. And just squash it right there. Because that'll be way more meaningful to the movement than them just fighting and distracting people, in my opinion. And even if it's fake, like you said, and these people aren't about it, it don't matter because it's real. It's real to the people that hear it. You know, and it could inspire someone to do the right thing and shit like that.
I guess, man, but my issue will always be, y'all can have these conversations before this even has to get to this level, but y'all choose to do this.
That would be, shit. I mean, if people were smarter, yeah. If people didn't have egos and shit, that could happen.
Because this whole thing is ego on both sides. That's the thing that gets lost in all this. Because everyone, and to your point about, they can have the interview and whatever. Let me be clear about the internet, right? Most of the people you see in these comments, and I probably said 90 to 95% of the people you see in these comments, or whatever, they've already made up their mind. Already. Like, there are people who are going to be like, oh, we love NoName, she's right, she speaks for black women. There's people going to be like, we love J. Cole, he's not a bad guy, whatever. The arguing between these two will not mean anything because they feel how they feel already. You're not going to change anybody. Most of the people who probably like us, we go on the internet or we're on social media, we see things. We look at it, we digest it, we don't comment. Because why am I going to get into this mudslinging shit in here? Because it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Half the time, there's just bots. They're trying. Like, I'm not going to argue with somebody that doesn't have their picture as their Abby. You have a little anime character. You weirdo. Like, I'm not about to talk to you. Like, you ain't about to tell me how I'm supposed to feel.
Yeah.
Like,
The thing too, you might, let's say you are the person arguing in the comments. You might convince one or two people right there, but they'll never acknowledge it right there. And the only people that are going to convince the masses, like those 95% that have made up their mind already, are the two people involved, the JCole and the NoName. Those are the only people that are going to convince those other people. So that's why I want the interview. Because all the comment shit, yeah, it's just them fighting and saying whatever behind the keyboard, and I can say whatever I want because there ain't no consequences for me. So them having that conversation and them coming to agreement, hopefully it ends peacefully. Now, instead of these 95% people fighting, they go, oh yeah, NoName's right, J. Cole's right. Let's all be unified and talk out our misunderstandings. That's the thing. Just shut these people up that have these strong opinions that are easily influenced just because this celebrity said A. Let's all say A. It's A, man. Fuck B and the rest of the alphabet. It's stupid. And I just want to shut those people down because people that can't think for themselves or just do a little bit of critical thinking, the people that should shut up the most are the loudest. And the only way to shut them up, have that interview, talk it out. Make it peaceful.
I don't know.
Figure shit out.
I feel like you go right back into the same realm of now you got just people arguing about this interview. And that's just, I don't know. I feel like I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that it's something, a conversation is needed, but it's just, in this time, with everything that's going on, even that conversation will be a distraction. And I just feel like it's not necessary. Like it especially for something that who cares, man? Like, oh my God, like, and I get what they're trying to pose. J. Cole is trying to pose it like, oh my God, Black Queen, you're so much smarter than me. Teach me. She's posing it as tired of teaching you niggas, and you're not gonna tell me how to talk to you too, right? I get both sides. Yeah. I understand it. I'm not about to sit here and say that there isn't an issue between black men and women in the community. I'm not about to sit here and say that because there is. There's issues, there's stigmas, there's stereotypes, and there's a lot of things there's a lot of nuances in all that too, right? However, I'm not about to try to figure all that out right now. Not when clearly there's a whole bunch of stuff going on. We have targets on our backs. Not when cops are just beating niggas like hotcakes, as Dave Chappelle would say. I'm not about to be like, oh, God, let me figure out why black men and women just can't get along. Like, and if you choose to not support someone because if you're a black woman and choose, I ain't gonna support niggas because all this and that, you stupid. And if you're, as a black man, being like, man, all these black girls be killing niggas, I ain't about to whatever, you stupid too. Period. Dumb. In the clearest form of, like, when we should not be doing this, you choose to do it. I hate people that do shit like that. I hate people to be like, man, I would agree with you, but it's just like, I can't rock with that person. Really? So you agree with everything they're saying, but because they're saying it, it's just nah.
Ego.
That's all it is at the end of the day. It's all, like, this has proven that both these people have huge egos. That's it.
So the thing too, I'm gonna say this as a J. Cole fan.
Both y'all music trash.
You're fucking dumb for taking it personally. You're fucking dumb, man. Unless she's saying it outright, your name directly.
And that's an ego move.
That is a straight ego move. And I'm saying this again as a J. Cole fan. Just, oh my God, stop reading into shit. Unless people are like, unless you started talking shit on my name directly and you're saying mark this, mark that, then I'll come at you. But if you're just saying like little shit here, little shit there, but there's no concrete names or anything like that, just let it go. Have a private conversation like Dwayne said. Reach out, talk, and figure out like, hey, and fucking swallow your pride a little bit because you're gonna have to ask straight out. You talking about me?
Yeah.
Because if you are, let's figure it out. Because I don't want to be that.
And,
you know.
And that's the biggest thing with all of this stuff is she sent that tweet and clearly it hurt something in his soul. If it hurts something in your soul, that says a lot more about you than it does her.
Kind of saying that what she said was true.
Right. And if you feel like it's true, then that's on you at the end of the day. Because to me, if you didn't feel like, nah, that's not me, could have had the phone call.
Yeah.
But you choosing to address it the way you addressed it means to me that you took it a certain type of way personally because you might, in the back of your mind, feel like you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to tell you, man, I think you're doing a pretty okay job, bro. Like, it's not, like, you're doing a lot. Like, I don't know what more you want to, like, and that's the, like, it sucks. It sucks because I do like J. Cole's music, right? However, I just don't feel like during this time, I'm not really into anybody's music right now. I'm being, like, honest with you. Like, because, yeah, I understand that there's artists making music around this and they're trying to speak for, you know, the voiceless and things like that. Great. However, we already have proven that we have a short attention span and it'll be just a moment in time and then it'll be gone. But I feel like if you guys choose to unify your efforts in doing something that'll be way more impactful, I think that'll last a lifetime. I mean, we still talk about We Are the World to this day. How come all you guys know each other? All you guys are getting money together. Why hasn't there been that type of movement yet in this industry or in the entertainment industry? Period. It's clear because y'all ain't trying to do all that. Because at that time, I don't know what the reasons are because I wasn't even born when that song came out. I don't think, but like
I'm gonna say it was a Cold War. Something to do with that.
Okay. But like with that type of stuff or whatever, again, it goes back to a day where I don't think a lot of stuff was done on the aspect of money. It was just done like, do you want to help this cause? Sure, I do. And today, people, like you said, they think more about themselves first than they do what's going on. Not everyone, but there's a lot of people that we champion, and I feel like it's the truth. They think more about how this is going to affect me than how I can help the world.
Yeah.
So
imagine this. Let's rewrite the story. Let's say NoName came out with that song, and then J. Cole took it personally, right? Instead of releasing that record, he reached out to her, told her like, hey, I kind of take that personally. Let's talk about it, whatever. She explains and teaches and all that shit. And then that's the story, the public story that comes out. He comes out saying, I took it personally, I misunderstood, we had a conversation, it's like this, and now they could fucking big it up that way. They could have a unified song, fucking a song for, like an official song for the movement, which would have been fucking insane.
That's cool.
That could have been the fucking world, guys. That could have been how it was if you just look past yourselves and instead of taking it so personally, be like, shit, this could be about me because of the way I feel. It could be. Let me figure this out. And because I'm such a big rapper in this fucking world, I have the ability to reach out and talk to her directly. However we can, phone call, FaceTime, Zoom, like nowadays and shit like that. So there really is almost no excuse for not taking that route.
There's none. And I don't know who, like I said, I blame both of these parties, but I will say if it comes out that, if NoName tried to reach out and J. Cole wasn't responsive or anything like that, then prove that point. Or if it's vice versa, if J. Cole tried to reach out but NoName wasn't hearing it, then I prove that point. So again, like to me, like Mark said, there was no reason to not reach out if you felt a certain type of way about that with everything that's going on. But if you had time to feel a certain type of way, write a song, record it, like put artwork to it,
Yeah.
To me, that just looks like you were trying to
get some more money during all this time.
Yeah, you were trying to do some other things there, and you were like, oh, I can do it creatively, and they gonna feel me because I'm trying to big up a queen and, and all this stuff. And it's like I said, same thing goes for NoName, because I felt like she lost because she responded. She could have seriously just tweeted, "Told you," and that would have been it. Like,
told you. She could have made it public that she reached out, making JCole look even worse. It's just there's better routes to shit.
Yeah, when you respond for all this, that just gets back to the point. Well, respond how she did musically, I guess gets back to the point. What are you trying to really do? Are you trying to push the movement, or are you trying to push yourself?
Yeah.
And of course, these are all this is what it looks like. Again, we don't know what happened behind the scenes, but this is just what it looks like.
Right. And to some extent, I get it, because emotions are a hard thing to have control over in your life. So I get the initial, fuck that, I'm going to write a song and do this and do it my way, because that's how I know how to do it, instead of reaching out. Because the thought process behind reaching out and having that conversation, figuring each other out, it takes a lot of being in tune with yourself and knowing yourself and just pushing past the initial emotional response of shit. Hard to do. I mean, I fuck up all the time, so...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still better than them, because
I admit it.
I admit it, see? And my new song, Unify, is coming out.
Unified School District.
Where I talk shit about JCole and NoName in one.
And big myself.
Yeah, and I will be the face of the movement.
Nah, but it's like, and that's the thing. Even because another thing when it comes to stuff like this, it's like I hate the mudslinging, and I hate. We've talked about it before. You can't dictate how people feel. You can't dictate what people do, but people always, for some reason, try to, and I don't understand why. Right?
Yeah.
NoName saying, "Oh, your favorite rappers have whole discographies about the black plight, and they ain't out here and everything like that." She's wrong for that. Just because, do they have to be? Why do they need to be? Again, she shouldn't be able to dictate what they do. She can control what she does. But why do you feel like that you need to dictate how certain people move? I don't like shit like that.
This negativity is a lot easier to sell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people are more willing, like, she said that line, and people are like, yeah, why aren't they, and blah, 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 instead of going, like, what could I be doing for the movement?
It's so lame, because you could look at any situation, and depending on the person, the context, and what's going on, anyone could be wrong. If say someone kills someone in self-defense, right? On the surface, you look at it like, oh, his life was in trouble. He did what he had to do, whatever, right? But if you flip it, you could be like, why does he have a gun?
Yeah.
Right? Or why
in the first place?
Yeah, like why did it get to that level? If you flip it, you can keep going like, why is that other person there? Like, what were they doing? Like, and anything can be taken in that whole light. So, like, that's why I say I just don't like when people try to dictate what people need and should do, because at the end of the day, yeah, she's saying, oh, like, where are they at? And everything like that. JCole could easily, if he wanted to, flex and be like, what have you given?
Or just do that simple tweet of, I was right here, and post that video of him being in the march.
Right. And then, because, I think it's pretty safe to say he probably has a lot more money than NoName, right?
Safe to say.
Like, because she's the smaller artist, and she's just now getting her just due for the work she's been doing. She is a phenomenal rapper. But we could easily say that since JCole has been doing this for a while.
Oh, now that you mentioned that, do you think this was all the marketing ploy to...
So I'm getting at, man. I'm telling you, all this stuff that we see, just stop believing what you see. Stop it. Because they do these things, and it's weird, and the timing's always weird, and it's like, why? What's the point? Like, seriously? Especially for someone who... I consider JCole a very bright dude. I feel like he's very in tune with what's going on. NoName clearly is a very bright girl. She knows what's going on. Why would y'all choose to get into this right now?
Yeah.
It just seems like...
It seems like they're above it. from
way above
all appearances.
Exactly, right? So it's like, when you choose to get into it, it makes me look at it and be like, I literally sit back and I'm like, what's the gain in this?
Yeah. If all the dissing and shit stops now, all those track records, and No Name just becomes a big artist and her work gets shine more, then that's exactly what it was. Yeah, and you're not gonna convince me otherwise.
And of course, the J. Cole tried to do that because after he released the song, it got the backlash. The next day he tweeted out, I stand by what I said, not changing it. And then he says, go follow at No Name. So he used his platform to big up No Name.
Someone that needed to be bigged up, especially during these times with their activism and what she talks about in her lyrics.
Right. So, it's just a lot, man.
Yeah, it could have been done a more positive way, but fighting does sell. Negativity does sell, and I wish it was the other way around, but I mean, it's already done. You can't change the past. Shit like that. So as long as all the diss tracks stop, I'll be fine with it, I guess.
I mean, it's over now. I mean, I don't know about the situation, but I'm like, it's already happened, so it is what it is. But again, just for anyone who's choosing to try to
go at bat for them, like to take their crusade on. Don't. It's not yours. You're not getting any money out of it. Nothing's gonna happen in your life. You're not gonna be that special person they reach out and you're part of their entourage now. It's not gonna happen.
No.
So just put your energy into more positive things.
Now, if you choose to I get that some people are like, no, I'm trying to explain why this is happening and things like that. Cool. If you choose to use your time that way, that's fine. That's cool. I'm talking specifically to the people who are choosing to make this a thing, and because I've seen people being like, yeah, J. Cole's is a misogynist and No Name's definitely better. I'm like, what?
Matter of opinion. I mean,
and I'm like,
you never prove that shit. There's no scientific way to prove that.
And then it's just like, why was that needed? And what was the point of that?
So hey, cool, yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but what about these people being lynched? What's your opinion on what should we do on that?
Breonna Taylor, murderess,
yeah,
still out there,
fired, no charges,
nothing. Apparently, there's a new video today of the dude, one of the cops who
suffocated George Floyd. That one.
Yeah. Who the day he got out of prison, he just walking around the store chilling.
Someone had a camera on and was like, "Nope, you're not gonna walk around here comfortable."
Nah.
Yeah, shit like that needs to be more important than a couple of diss tracks.
But I don't know. We have to get to the point where using your platform for good, good, and for the right things at the right time.
Yeah.
That should be more important. Someone who's not using their platform, that I just saw something today that pissed me off because this dude is, man, I don't even know what's wrong with this dude. Terry Crews.
What is up with him, man?
Terry Crews, he was on some show and it was like a Zoom chat thing, and he went on and he talked about how I really hate this dude. He talked about, and it goes back to my point, because y'all had his nuts when he was all like, I was sexually assaulted, and look what that got you. See what I'm talking about, man? Sometimes you just gotta be like, hey, sucks for you.
Yeah.
Because these moments, because you don't know these people. You don't. And when you try to support them, you'll see sometimes they won't have your back. And he went on this show and decided to say that, again, go with his weird, to end white supremacy, there can't be black supremacy. And he talked about how growing up, he went through a lot of racism and things like that from black people. And I was like,
not the time.
It's not even that. I'm just like, fam, really? Really, nigga? Come, man, what? And then again, nothing was said about the clear societal, systemic racism of white people. He went on a show talking about how black people are wrong. Black people were messed up to him. And this is why we can't have things like supremacy at all. And I'm like, so you're saying because a couple of niggas probably bagged on you for whatever reason, now you you don't feel like what's going on is needed. Terry Crews, ladies and gentlemen.
He has big muscles.
The weird nigga who does the robot in all his movies for some reason. who's been like a coon for a lot of his career because he just is the big black dude who dances. But hey, whatever.
Who was talking about black supremacy before he brought it up? I never heard of that because it was all about equality and finally getting what the shit
that we deserve.
Equality. And then he brings up black supremacy, and then I was like, what? Who's talking about that?
Because it's changing the narrative, and now you got Uncle Terry over here saying these things, and dumb people, because he's a celebrity, will believe it.
Yeah.
And then there you go. They're trying to have black supremacy. They're trying to make an all black world. Yeah. Like, no, we're not.
This thing, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know why.
No.
But I want to give him the benefit of the doubt. No. He doesn't think before he talks.
Yes, he does.
I really hope that he does.
He's off the boat.
He's off the boat.
He's off the boat.
I'm not going to try to save him, but I'll look back and wonder while he's drowning.
Oh, just let him drown, man. That's so. Just let him drown. There'll be another one.
He could have been good for the fight. He's a big dude.
No.
He could have punched out a lot of people.
No, apparently he can't because he can't stop a nigga from touching his little booty hole. These weird ass niggas, man. I'm like, this man, listen.
Yeah, I'm not going to advocate for him or anything like that, but it just sucks.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It is what it is, bro.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm not gonna try to convince you for the next half hour or something. No, but I'm saying no.
But you see when he pop locked the last time.
You gotta see. That's his form of getting equality.
Dude, weird, man. I just don't. Man.
Yeah, it's one of those because I like the show that he's on right now, which is Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is funny enough. It's about good cops and they do the right thing and shit like that. That's.
Look.
Yeah.
If y'all want to save him, like for real, save him. Somebody figure out what's his issue with black people.
Have that interview.
Yeah, have that interview. Until then, I don't want to hear what this dude has to say. I don't care. I don't care for his whatever he's going through and everything like that because it seems like he's actively trying to stop any of what's going on right now. So to me, you the op.
Yeah.
Period.
Because there is I want to say it's a minority within the minority of people that do feel that way. That, oh, I'm black and black people have always been racist to me and said shit like this to me, and then they end up hating black people when they do shit like what Terry Crews does.
But again, that goes to the same thing we talk about with what they bring up with the violence, right?
Yeah.
They say, oh, there's violence in black communities and everything like that. That's not a racial thing. That's the environment you're in.
Right.
If you're around what you're around, something probably going to happen to you.
Yeah.
If you're around a whole bunch of white people, right, and you're white, like, and you get into situations, like, it's not, oh, these white people hate me because I'm white. It's like, no, it's just the area. You got to a situation, it happens, right? Like.
But what I'm saying is to really help that issue, have that interview with them and like have someone like try to really figure out what the fuck's going on in your mind and why you think this way and make that go viral. People that do feel that way that are, they can't get that help, that therapy help, whatever shit like that. They see that shit. Maybe it makes them figure something out in their head and their emotions and what's going on. Kind of helps heal the world a little bit in that way. But
I'm a person of why waste your time, but I'll go with your route, right?
Yeah.
Let's say if we choose to do that. Or let's say people have tried to do that with him, right? Mm-hmm. If you turn it down or you don't want to do it, what does that say about you?
Yeah, true.
So that's all.
You get all the offer,
and that's it. And he's going. I don't know what he's being offered. I don't know what people are saying to him, right? But every time you see him, he's going on these other platforms and saying this stuff. And I would have to believe that people know him enough to be like, yo, why?
Yeah.
Yo, maybe you should explain yourself over here. If you choose that you don't want to, I'm not saying he doesn't. I'm just saying, like, if that were a thing, then to me, okay, then you can go. Like just all right, cool. I'm gonna.
The main question is, why in your head is this so important to possibly derail the movement that's going on? Why is it worth it in your head?
Especially when, and I'm only going off of his actions, when he was talking about him being assaulted by the movie agent or whatever,
Producer, something like that.
The movie producer, and he went on a crusade, and he talked about misogyny. He talked about all these things, and then when Gabrielle Union came up and said, "Oh, NBC is racist because they do this, that, and the third," he went so hard. It
For
was
NBC?
like, huh?
For NBC?
Yeah, and pretty much said that he hasn't experienced any of that, doesn't know what she's talking about and everything.
Right.
So I'm like, that's strike one, right? Now this is happening. You're all his statements have been, I'm against all of this. He hasn't given a clear reason why. And today he comes out, or whenever that video he did that interview, he's saying that, black people, I had issues with black people growing up and everything like that. So I feel like this can create black supremacy, and that's not good. We don't need supremacy. We need unity and all this stuff. And I'm like, fam, who's saying anything about black supremacy? You are.
Yeah. And why not actually talk shit about the people that actually have supremacy?
That's my point.
Right now.
He hasn't said anything.
Not this possible future of other people all of a sudden having supremacy.
But again, to stay on brand, I don't give a fuck what Terry Crews says anyway. So I'm like, he can, if he said, "Oh, white people, whatever," cool, thanks, I appreciate it. But
is it the care is really? It's not about what they say. It's about you're derailing the movement, and you're splitting up forces. You're making people fight on two fronts now, which is not needed.
That's my care. His words don't mean anything to me because they don't dictate anything I'm gonna do. But when it seems like you're actively trying to stop something, that's on you, bro. I'm cool with that. You can go over there.
Yeah, talk to whoever wants to listen to you. But
yeah, we're not here for that. Because the best way to, I guess, to explain all this, in a war, if we're in a war and everyone's fighting an enemy, but then on our side we're fighting the enemy, and then there's all these other fights in between, we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
We're clearly gonna lose.
It's called divide and conquer for a reason, and it fucking stood the test of time for a reason. Celebrities. Anyways, I'll move on to. Could end it with this. So Trump recently just had his Oklahoma rally, which
fuck him too.
He almost had it on Juneteenth, which then he almost took. He wanted so much to take credit for bringing attention to, which is
it's been a thing for a long time.
Exactly 2 years after slaves were freed, it's been a thing.
He really was trying for that Juneteenth. We got that shit smooth out of here. He was like, nah.
Yeah, nah,
that's not.
So he held it the day after. And before even the rally was held, on his website, people had to, if you wanted tickets, you had to sign a waiver saying you can't sue Trump if you catch COVID at his rallies, because they weren't requiring masks, all this shit, all that crap. But if you catch it, you can't sue him.
Smart.
Yeah, I guess. But at that point, when that was happening, I really want to ask Trump supporters. This is I don't know if any Trump supporters watch us or anything like that. Probably not. But if any of them,
we'll be surprised.
Yeah, and if you are, I really want to figure out. I want to ask you directly: what is it about Trump that makes you think he cares about you? What is he doing specifically? I don't want these vague answers of he's doing this and then. I want some specific fucking facts. Fucking cite your sources. Do that shit. Show me. This is why he cares about me. This is why he says what he says. He's actually doing it. Show me. Because I really don't know. And I mostly stay away from news, like left or right. I watch both just to see what's going on, what the other side's saying about each other. And both sides, I don't see anything saying like Trump cares about people other than his, making his rich friends richer. Making his pockets fatter. That's what I see from both sides.
They're pretty fat.
Yeah. So I hope you can answer that, but I'll wait, I guess. And then another thing that happened at the rally.
Well, I'll just stay on that real fast. I have someone in my family who's a Trump supporter, and it's a black woman. So you guys want to go wild on that? I'm not gonna tell you who, but and I've asked her that. I've asked her, why? Like this person clearly does not like your people. Has nothing to do with political whatever views. Like why? And everything, and usually the sentiment is always, well, I'm a conservative, he's a conservative, I like his views because they match up with mine. And I'm like, okay, but the ones that clearly don't speak a lot louder than the conservative ones. And I'm starting to realize that with a lot of people that choose to side with him or whatever, I know a lot of people who maybe don't like him, but they are Republican, vote Republican, and it has nothing to do usually with race for them. It has everything to do with whatever values they believe in. And 9 times out of 10, they believe in things that people who obviously don't vote Republican just don't believe in. They believe in things like law and order, as Trump has said 8 million times. They believe in things like, certain positions that we just don't believe in. They don't really believe too much in, like, helping the communities. They don't believe in government assistance. They don't believe in these things, right? They believe in hard work. You get what you own. You get what you earn. You work hard, and then you become something, right? And I feel like he has the ability to pull on those strings for a lot of people who aren't racist. And then you just add the fact that he also talks to the racists.
Yeah.
That's like the best way I can sum it up. But I just feel like for anyone, I've always felt like when it comes to politics, you should always vote for people who are going to make your life better, right? So if I openly know that this dude doesn't like people that look like me, you're not getting my vote because you ain't gonna make my life better.
No matter how much of your values match up.
Yeah, no, you're not gonna make my life better. That's stupid. That's stupid because how can you make my life better if, let's just say, I'm in his tax bracket that he'll help me, but my family isn't? So when they're struggling, I have to help them, right? So if I have to help them, that doesn't make my life better because now I'm helping my family and my family, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to help two families on one thing. That's not gonna help me. So I'm not gonna vote for you.
And especially knowing that he hates black people, there's no guarantee.
Minorities in theory.
Yeah, minorities in general, fucking that. There's no guarantee because you're in that tax bracket. There's no fucking weird little loophole in that shit excluding you because of your race. Because you do have to check off like what's your race and all this shit. Like it's part of the stuff. So
It's part of the stuff.
Part of the stuff. You know that legal talk, that legal print,
that legal jargon. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that he's a old school conservative, and there's a lot of people that love those views on things. And
but what's crazy is that he's not a person that worked hard and earned what he has. He was given a shitload of money, lost it all, and just kept basically living off his name, kind of thing.
I mean, in the pure sense, he's kind of like he's an old school hustler, which is like I feel like that's why in the beginning black people loved him because it's like, man, he keep getting money, losing it, getting money, losing it. Like we respect it though because he's still hustling. Like, but yeah,
it's just weird. The one theory I read on Twitter, I think it was, I'm gonna paraphrase it. His supporters don't really give a shit about what they could do for them. It's mainly about what he could do to destroy the other side, how they could hinder the other side. Yeah. And they care about that more than making their lives better, I guess.
Yeah, but that goes in line with, like I said, conservative values. Conservatives don't believe in gay people or marriage.
Right.
He don't really rock
with that. So who gives a shit about the economic collapse as long as gay people and transgender lose their rights? Yeah, tight.
I'm happy. Like, that's, again, people, the media likes to throw everything as like it's a race, this and that, and I get it because it sells, and there's a lot of times that it's true. But if you look at it from its like purest point, it has nothing to do with none of that. It has everything to do with these people's values. And their values, if they grew up in the deep south, like a lot of these people have who support this dude, they hate black people and they hate minorities. So then you start to throw in his terms for minorities.
The do nothing Democrats?
And those type of things. And they hear that like, oh, we know who you talking about.
I know what do nothing means.
We know what you talking about, boy. I like it. You getting my vote. Right? And then there's a flip side to, like I said, people who aren't racist when he says things that line up with their values. And, and he says, I feel like COVID's going to disappear on Easter Sunday. We can all go out and go to church. I want to go to church. That's why I love this Trump. He knows because he's a God-fearing man.
I had something in my head I can't remember. But something else that happened at his rally.
That no one was at.
That no one was at. And why no one was out there is because what I read, these Zoomers, a lot of that next generation below us, they basically reserved a shitload of tickets, made it seem like a lot of people were going. So the campaign management just tweeted out, blasted how it's going to be packed and blah, blah, blah. We're going to have overflow. We're going to have a speech outdoors for the people that can't get in and crap like that.
Didn't show up.
And none of anybody showed up. They were like, you really thought we were going to fucking go? No.
We don't like you.
Yeah, idiot. And there was barely anybody actually within the stadium, so they canceled the outdoor speech. And it was funny because they really didn't give a reason. They just like, it's canceled. But the reason was there was nobody out there. People in the stands, they kept framing the pictures, showing just like the lower tiers, making it seem as full as possible. And even in those, you could see like empty spaces, which is, if you can't fill up in a picture, damn, you fucked up. And I just want to see the aftermath of that, because he's gonna tweet about like how, oh, it was so full and blah 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 bullshit, and people are gonna start.
Or
no, it wasn't.
Or he's gonna do exactly what you just said and say, the do nothing Dems decide to waste their money, and you see how they're trying to silence me. Yeah. Which again, if you subscribe to his rhetoric, it might just work. But the thing that I want to make very clear, because this happened 4 years ago. Don't let people not being there make you think they not gonna vote for him. Mm-hmm. Because times is a little different. Back then, you can get this whole like I'm racist stuff off. Right now, I don't think you want to get that off. Like you get seen on that TV, like, and some people know you work out. They're like, "Hey, is that Billy?"
Oh yeah, people constantly getting fired with that shit.
Yeah, like, oh hell no, like, so, like, trust me. Do I think it was co-opted and they chose to do that? Yeah, but do I also think people decided not to go because I ain't trying to get caught up? However, come November, we gonna ride. That's gonna happen. There's a reason why the KKK wears hoods.
Yeah.
There's a reason for it.
It's a reason they're still around.
There's a big reason. Because, when it's time to do these lynchings and all these weird-ass speeches and everything like that, we going to be out here. However, I got a job and a family, man. I can't let people know I'm racist. Are you crazy?
And if black people are spending money on my establishment, I'm going to take the money.
But, hey, these niggers don't like it. Niggers, Jews, Hispanics, don't like any of them.
I will say, this was trending for a little bit, but it died down. It was basically country over party, which I don't know how that didn't keep going. I don't know how that died down. How do you argue that? How do you argue, I'm for my country, I don't give a shit about the party you think I belong to because of where I live and how I grew up?
Easy. You're Mexican. You ain't from this country. Get your ass out of here. I'm black. I ain't from this country. Get your ass out of here.
We're out of frame. We just go disappear.
That's what they're gonna say. Go back to Africa or wherever the hell you Wakanda.
People saying that to especially to Mexicans, to Native Americans. People say that shit to them. But like, do you not realize our ancestors actually from this land? Yeah. You don't. That doesn't click in your head, like.
But the same thing when they say to black people, like, nigga, we built this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, what you're standing on, we built. Like. Yeah. What did you do?
Well, I had the whip.
How'd y'all work harder?
Yeah. How'd you? You would have stopped. You know how lazy y'all get.
Never on time.
CPT is a thing for a reason.
They start to break it down. Wait a minute. You might have a point. So you said, he's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it ends racism.
That's the interview Terry Crews on.
We realized that we kind of need each other. Just don't whip me. I'll show up on time. We'll do the work. It's right.
Keep my royalties and shit. Oh man, I wanted someone to really argue that how they prefer their party more over the country being well off. Just tell me that. How do you rationalize that in your brain?
People rationalize a lot.
I know,
but
I want to know because we always do this thing where we try to put ourselves in their place and try to really figure out why they have that viewpoint, and that's one of those ones where you have to do some crazy mental gymnastics to get there, which is that really worth it? At that point, don't you, like after the fucking 10th fucking hurdle you have to cross to get to that point, doesn't a little part of in your head say like, this is a little too much work to get here? Where it's just easier to do the right thing, which is make the country better.
I feel like if they feel like it's worth it, then nah.
I guess. But that's all I got.
Let's hit them with the plugs. Let's wrap this thing up.
You can find us at youtube.com/howdoiknowyou. Please comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon. Really helps us out. We are almost there to our 1,000 mark. You can find us at Twitter and Instagram at HDIKY1. You can find my personal ones at MrLucky005.
And on Twitter, I am at DCJunior13. On Instagram, DCJunior113. You can subscribe to us on iTunes. Leave a 5-star review. Helps us get up those iTunes charts. Follow us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, all the DSPs. We're there. Continue to support. We'll continue to give you guys as much content as we can, and hopefully we can get back to some jokes sooner or later.
Yeah, I'm really missing the comedy part of this podcast
because this is not fun. There's a lot of anger.
We try to make it funny in this part.
But even like the racial stuff we make funny. No, like some people ain't gonna laugh. They're gonna be like, nah, man, I can't.
Especially
laugh
during these times.
I mean, it's funny, but I can't laugh.
I'll giggle a little bit off the side.
Niggas are lazy.
CPT high. Shit.
I have a whip.
But it's a sexy whip.
I want the black one to whip me. He gets weird. It's like,
I'm so hard right now.
Where's she at? But like we always say, if I don't know and you don't know,
who really knows?
And how do I know you? Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to us on all platforms. Let's go.